Something massive is happening right now with Dogecoin, and what's shocking is that almost nobody is even noticing it. That's what's really interesting here as we take a look at this Dogecoin getting ready to spike, and I'll show you exactly why. No one's paying attention, no one is seeing what's happening here, but it's actually a pretty dang big deal. Take a look first before we get into that at this article here. FX Street with an article by Tony M saying Dogecoin price could triple this month. Here's what to look out for. Basically, a very optimistic article. It's been a while since you have seen those for Dogecoin, right? Well, we're starting to see more and more of them, and that's not though the big thing that no one's paying attention to. The big thing that no one's paying attention to is what has happened with Dogecoin over the last week. And there is a little bit of nuance to it, but it's not all nuance. There is some actual trajectory stuff here. Take a look at this. The entire cryptocurrency market has had a pretty good week. Arguably, I mean, you could argue, well, it did go down first, right? But still, it's a good week. Bitcoin back over 21,000, exactly as I predicted would happen. Remember, to an exact T, I told you, 21K, it would bounce below that if it did fall, and it would go and then spike right back up to 21K. We called the bottom pretty accurately on that. And Bitcoin up 15.97% this week. That's pretty dang good, right? But what's even more dang good is Dogecoin is up 29.68%. So a 30% gainer week for Dogecoin. 30% in a single week for Doge. That is a massive bounce back from where it was. That's even more than Ethereum at 28%, around the same, but still more. Bitcoin, though, doubling Bitcoin is Dogecoin. When you start to see altcoins outperforming Bitcoin to that degree, it is a sign that we are starting to get to bull market territory again, or maybe not a full bull market, but at the very least, a spike territory where we could see a big rise at the very least. And here's why this is so significant. One of the biggest things that was stopping Dogecoin from spiking was fear. Simply put, people being scared that Dogecoin could fall further prohibited lots of investment into it. Hopefully we sound good as well. You can see we have a little bit of a temporary setup right now, but you know, it's okay. We can do a temporary setup. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still press the like button and have fun with that as much as you want. Yo, as well to you, Mr. Mighty. Remember, for 12 months, think about how crazy that is. He has been a member of this channel for 12 months. That's pretty awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Mighty, for your support. But that's really crazy to think about, because Dogecoin going up 29% signifies that that fear is starting to go away. Because if you're worried that you're going to lose money on your investment with Dogecoin, then you will be scared and you will not want to put in a lot of money, which therefore will inhibit Dogecoin from going up to a new spike and a new all-time high. So what everyone was waiting for before starting to be in a position where they could feel confident. Now, the confidence isn't fully there yet, right? Or else it would already be higher. But in order to be in a position where you're even capable of spiking, you have to have that fear largely eliminated. And this is one of the best weeks Dogecoin has had performance-wise in a very long time. And it basically signifies that we have hit a pretty hard floor. The only way to shatter through a floor this hard would be to have basically Hulk Hogan with a giant jackhammering away at the floor. AKA, we'd have to have some really dang bad news coming out. Hulk Hogan, please don't do that. I'm asking nicely. I know you can probably rip my head off if you want, but don't do it to Dogecoin. Don't crash it, please. I'm asking nicely, Hulk. But anyway, jokes aside, 29% up signifies that the bottom for Dogecoin was around 5 cents. The bottom for Bitcoin was around 17K. Believe it or not, well, really though, it's around 21K because it was just a short time that it dropped below that. But still, we're signifying the bottom is around this mark here for cryptocurrencies, because that is a huge amount of support coming in. And so the fear is going to start to slowly fade away. No one's paying attention to this. Once the fear fades away, that is when we are capable of having a spike. When there's fear, you can't spike. When there's not, you can. And so now, whenever Elon Musk puts Dogecoin on the moon, which is still projected to happen this year, if that goes through, which I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, because SpaceX is already really advanced with the rockets. They're already landing Starship relatively successfully. They're not that far away from being at the point where they can actually land a rocket on the moon. And if there's no humans in that rocket, then you can actually afford to have it fail, right? You can afford to have the rocket be lost if you need to. Now, you don't want that, right? You want to land and then come back as is planned, and that's what they'll try to accomplish. And to be honest, I think it'll probably happen the first try. I wouldn't even be surprised. Maybe it'll take a couple of tries, but regardless of that, it will still happen. And the question is, Is Elon Musk, who just said he's going to continue to support Dogecoin, going to fall through on his plan to put a Dogecoin on the moon? And I think the answer is yes. So if he takes the Dogecoin up with one of those rockets, which it won't have people on it, so it won't get as many views as when there are actually people that place the Dogecoin on the moon, but still, it's going to be a lot of people watching when a rocket lands on the moon. That's still going to get hundreds of millions of people watching, maybe not billions. And so with hundreds of millions of people, which is significantly above the SNL viewership of around 7 million, based on aftermath or afterward recorded numbers, that is a massive increase, and there's no reason to believe that Dogecoin could not spike with the fear gone and a big catalyst to over $1 this year. As long as that thing does happen, that's really what my prediction is based off of. It's not based off of nothing. There's a reason why, and yes, there is some degree of, oh no, Matt better watch out if it doesn't happen, but you know, it is what it is. We'll take the risk. You have to. I mean, what is crypto without risk? If you don't take a risk in crypto, you're never going to make money. You will never be successful in crypto. It's all about taking risks, but you have to take calculated ones, of course. We all know that. We're not newbies here. We've been around for a while. I mean, look at that. We have Mr. Mighty over here, member for 12 months. No, we're not newbies, right? We got some experience under our belt now. Holding Matt says Rose. That's awesome to see. Hector the dude. Hand over the face. Then eyes heart emoji. Oh wait, is that? No, maybe that's not a hand over the face. I'm not sure what emoji that is. It could be blowing a kiss. We'll just pretend like it's that. Maybe it's that. And then he says cheers. So it seems like one negative emoji, then two positive emojis, which leads me to believe that maybe our interpretation of the negative emoji is perhaps incorrect and inhibited by our ability to determine things like that in a mathematical equation. I just wanted to talk really fast for no reason because I enjoy talking fast sometimes because it's kind of fun. I'm out of breath now. It's okay though. If we don't need breath, we got Dogecoin. I'll inhale Dogecoin, and that will be my breath. We don't need anything else. It's okay. Dogecoin we can just breathe that solid metal, breathing it in. Why not? Makes sense to me. Solana also doing really well on the week. Solana actually outperforming Dogecoin. The only cryptocurrency at the top that outperformed Dogecoin was Solana, going up 35%, and that is in large part because Solana did fall actually more than Dogecoin during this cycle, but now it's starting to go back again. And Solana deserves, in my opinion, to be one of the top cryptocurrencies along with Dogecoin. Both of them deserve that. And so it'll be interesting to see if it is able to claim what is, in my opinion, its rightful place in the top 5, along with Dogecoin, which absolutely deserves to be up there. I mean, that's not even just an opinion. That's a fact. Dogecoin needs to be right around this area, I think sounds good. What do you think? Yeah, there we go. That area sounds pretty dang good to me. If you want to come in and press like, you're certainly welcome to. Why not? Matt, I missed out on all the info. What's going on with Doge? Ah, no, Mastro, you came into the live late. Do you have a tardy pass? If you have a tardy pass, we can go and start over the live again. Or yes, Ray said it, just rewind. If you ever come into live late, all you gotta do, take your finger, go, and you can go right back to the beginning. Or if you just like watching me live, then what sometimes I do when I watch lives, if I want to still watch the live because it's more fun, right? Then you can just start watching, and then after it's over, go back and watch the beginning. That's another way to do it because I cover different stories throughout the live, so it doesn't really matter what order you watch them in. If you come in a little bit later, just watch the other stories first toward the later half of the live, then go back and you can watch the first half. It's pretty easy. I like it. Matt, Dogecoin will be the future currency of Earth, says Gone Viral, who's a member for 7 months. Think about what we've built here. We went from just a random YouTube channel having fun talking about Dogecoin to now one of the strongest communities on the internet. Even still, during this bear market, we are still getting insane activity. We just had a tweet. I had a tweet that got over 17 million impressions on Twitter. And it was a joke tweet, and I put the hashtag Dogecoin in it. So that's 17 million people that just saw hashtag Dogecoin on Twitter. That right there is free marketing for Dogecoin. Yes, it's good and fun for me to watch, but it's really not about me in this situation. It's about the hashtag Dogecoin getting seen by 17 million people and the fact that we did that. We pressed like on it, and yes, it was a little bit of a silly tweet, right? It was a joke, but still, it doesn't matter. It still got 17 million impressions and over 130,000 likes on that one tweet, which I didn't even think deserved even more than maybe a few hundred. I mean, maybe 1,000. I don't know. I mean, what did it deserve? It didn't deserve anywhere close to what it got, but that's still just such a cool thing. I think it's basically like a free billboard for Dogecoin to 17 million people to see that hashtag. Steven Steele says Dogecoin will win in the end. Patience, positivity, and Elon will take us there. Praying for you, Steven Steele. And yes, I fully agree with that. There's no question. Elon Musk is on board, committing publicly to it. Why wouldn't he take it all the way? The answer is he absolutely will. So that's exciting to think about. But yeah, that's very true. Dogecoin will win in the end. It just requires patience and trust, faith, I guess you could say, even though typically that word is used in a different context of religion, which is probably good that we would keep that word in that context and not try to use it for other things. However, from the literal sense of the word, you could use that in this case. I don't know why I just explained that. That was probably not necessary, but whatever, I did anyway. Deal with it. Then we have this. Here's how much the richest Bitcoin whale now holds. Take a look. The richest Bitcoin whale now is up to 130,227 BTC, worth over $2.7 billion. Just imagine being that guy. What would you do? I mean, some billionaire continuing to buy. He actually, by the way, just bought more Bitcoin. Take a look. He bought a huge amount more. On June 14th, 2,554 more Bitcoin was purchased by this guy who has to be unbelievably wealthy. There's no question about that. To be able to make these big buys of Bitcoin rather.